An object from another star system is flying towards Earth right now. And we see it for the first and last time in history. This is 3I Atlas, the strangest comet humanity has ever observed. It was discovered this year using the Atlas telescopes. And it became clear almost immediately. This is not just any comet. This is a guest from another world. Its trajectory is not closed, not elliptical, as in ordinary objects in our system, but hyperbolic. And that just means one thing: he flew in from the outside and he's never coming back. He's passing through here, just once. And the most eerie and mesmerizing thing about it is that we're watching it literally live. For the first time in history, humanity can study in such detail an object that did not form around our sun. It's like getting a physical fragment of another planetary system. But the more scientists observe 3I Atlas, the weirder it gets. It was later revealed that the comet had been seen 2 months before its official discovery, in archival images from the Space Telescope. That is, it just passed by for a long time until humanity even suspected its existence. And even then, she was active. As we approached the sun, something happened that surprised even experienced astronomers. 3I Atlas has started to behave more than a standard comet. Instead of the usual slow evaporation of ice, scientists have recorded sharp emissions of gas and dust, as if explosions are taking place inside. These emissions resembled cryovolcanic activity, ice volcanoes that do not eject lava, but frozen gases, water, carbon dioxide, and complex compounds. That's already a rarity in itself. But it got even more interesting from there. Spectral analysis showed that 3I Atlas's Comet contains an abnormally high amount of carbon dioxide relative to water. This ratio is almost non-existent in comets in our solar system. And that means the conditions under which this body was formed were completely different temperature, different pressure, different chemistry. In fact, we are witnessing for the first time the chemistry of an alien star system. Complex organic compounds have also been discovered. And while this does not imply the presence of life, the very fact that such substances fly freely between the stars again raises an old and frightening question. Did life arise somewhere else as accidentally as we do? But the most alarming moment came when astronomers began analyzing the light bouncing off the surface of 3I Atlas. This polarization was atypical. Simply put, the surface structure is unlike any asteroid or comet we know of. It's like a material of a different density, a different structure, maybe even a different crystal lattice. And here's where the most controversial part intervened. Some scientists, including the famous astrophysicist Loeb, have made a hypothesis that many at first simply dismissed. He drew attention to the strange frequency of 3I Atlas outbreaks. It's like she has a pulse. Regular emissions occur at almost identical intervals. And it doesn't quite look like a chaotic evaporation of ice. A thought came up that gives you a cold sweat. What if it's not just a natural object? What if it's a man-made body? An ancient probe? A fragment of an alien civilization? Or an autonomous interstellar vehicle that lost control long ago but is still running some kind of program? Of course, mainstream science is extremely cautious about these theories. NASA and most academic astronomers claim that the explanation through unusual cryovolcanic activity so far fully covers the observed effects. But at the same time, no one can give a 100% guarantee that everything that happens is exclusively natural. Let's add one more detail here. Radio observations of 3I Atlas revealed short pulsed signals. They are irregular, weak, and do not make any obvious sense. However, the very fact of radiation has already generated a wave of discussions, from the scientific to the openly conspiratorial. And while some argue that it's just cosmic noise, others ask, if a civilization can create an interstellar apparatus, is it obliged to give signals in a language we understand? A separate fear is the trajectory of the object. According to the latest calculations, there are no direct threats of a collision with the Earth. But 3I Atlas will pass close enough to give the most detailed data for observations. It's a unique window of opportunity. There may not be a second one for decades, if not hundreds of years. In fact, we now have a chance to look beyond the boundaries of our system not through a telescope, but through a real physical object. It's like finding a letter from another world, not understanding the language but realizing its value. This is where a philosophical point arises. If 3I Atlas is a natural object, it proves that planetary systems throughout the galaxy are forming massively, chaotically, and ubiquitously. And that means the probability of life elsewhere becomes frighteningly high. If even the slightest sign of artificial origin is found in the future, it will change everything. Absolutely everything: religion, science, politics, the very idea of who we are in the universe. In the meantime, 3I Atlas is silently flying through our system. She doesn't answer questions. It doesn't give clear signals. It just carries the mystery of a world we'll never see. She flew in from darkness, and she'll go back into the darkness. And we may never know again if it was just an unusual comet, or the oldest witness to an alien civilization who once passed by the Earth. And right now, at this moment, we are the first generation of people to be able to watch it in real time.